Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers for the next 2 weeks, May 27th to June 6th, predict that there will be some courtroom drama, potentially jeopardizing Sasha Gilmore Corbin's secret. Jason Morgan and Michael Corinthos are also planning a strategy session. So here's what GH viewers can expect. As this week's episodes air from May 27th to 30th, Cody Bell would wish he had handled things differently now that Giovanni Gio Palmieri's true parentage has been revealed. Lulu Spencer will feel the same way, especially after Dante Falconeri lashes out and makes her cry with his cruel comments. Lois Cerullo will undoubtedly face consequences for her intricate Gio cover-up. Brooklyn Quartermaine, Olivia Quartermaine, and many others will put Lois on full blast. Despite Tracy Quartermaine's efforts to persuade her great-grandson, Gio may insist on leaving the Quartermaine mansion after all of the drama that has ensued. Emma Scorpio Drake will be there for Gio in his moment of need, but Gio may reject Brooklyn and Dante's attempts to contact him afterward. Ned Quartermaine was unaware of Brooklyn's teenage pregnancy and subsequent adoption. That is why Ned deserves the honest, emotional talk he will have with Brooklyn soon. Nina Reeves will contact Sonny Corinthos for help convincing Michael to compromise with Willow Corinthos. Sonny may argue that now that Michael has returned from Germany, he must deal with the matter on his own. Meanwhile, Michael will return Wiley Corinthos to Carly Spencer's residence, where Amelia Corinthos will already be waiting. Willow will try to resist, but Michael will not believe the children belong with their mother anymore. Drew Kane may promise Willow that they will solve everything out, but she may be concerned about losing the kids in the upcoming custody battle. Michael's family will eventually give him a genuine welcome home, while Nina opens up to Maxie Jones about the mess that is only getting worse. Ava Jerome will also have some counsel for Nina, and we'll see if she takes it. Jason will then meet with Michael to discuss strategy, after which he will make a request to Sasha. That could include some guarantee that Sasha will continue to conceal their one-night stand and the true paternity of the baby she's carrying. It is critical if Michael intends to gain an advantage in the future court battle. While Jason will most likely continue to play Sasha's baby daddy, Curtis Ashford will have severe qualms about continuing his relationship with Portia Robinson now that she has lied again. Portia clearly wants to work things out, but can she persuade Curtis that there is still hope for their marriage? Trina Robinson and Kai Taylor will fall asleep for the first time and wake up on cloud 9. Alexis Davis will meet secretly with Christina Corinthos Davis and Lucky Spencer now that everyone is aware of Ava and Rick Lansing's blackmail attempt. While Christina, Lucky, and Alexis scheme, Elizabeth Baldwin will catch up with Laura Spencer after the nurses' ball turmoil. Michael and Willow's court date will take place between June 2nd and June 6th. It is planned for June 2nd, so all of the courtroom activity should begin then. Of course, everyone knows that juicy secrets emerge in situations like this. Could Sasha get caught up on the stand and admit that Michael is the father of her unborn child? Regardless, the judge will finally decide who Wiley and Amelia belong to. So Willow, Drew, and Michael will be waiting for updates on some important news. When Brooklyn and Dante return, they will be determined to form a bond with Gio. It won't be easy, but Gio should come around sooner or later. Lois will be the town's pariah as a result of her dishonesty. Will she stay to set things right or flee Port Charles? In either case, Lois faces a difficult road after alienating so many people with her secret. General Hospital spoilers indicate the next 2 weeks will be filled with even more jaw-dropping occurrences, so stay tuned. Brooklyn lashes out at Lois, Tracy learns Gio is family, and Michael takes Wiley and Amelia from Willow. Monday, May 27, 2025. Today on General Hospital, Cody and Lulu regret their mistakes. Emma supports Gio and Kai and Trina make love. Lois is running around the Metro Court's patio area looking for Gio when Brooklyn discovers her. She demands to know whether Gio is her son. Lois sobs and confirms he is. Brooklyn breaks down in tears, and Lois says that she and her grandma tried to do the right thing. They chose to keep Joe close to ensure he found a loving home. Lois wants her daughter to say something. Brooklyn claims she can't breathe, and Lois rushes to her side, holding and comforting her. They settle down, and Lois gets some water for her kid. Brooklyn demands to know everything. Lois recalls that Camilla was yearning to have a kid, So when she and Gloria proposed adopting Gio, she was ecstatic. They all understood they could keep Gio near and watch out for him, and Lois could tell her daughter without lying that her son had gone to a loving home. Lois claims that was the perfect solution until Camilla became ill and died. They couldn't tell her and Gio the truth because Joe's life had just gone apart. Brooklyn listens in disbelief as Lois claims she was doing the right thing. Dante walks out and asks, "For whom? Whose best interests are served?" Brooklyn apologizes to Dante. He asks, "So it's true?" She explains that she became pregnant that summer. He questions why she didn't inform him. Did she worry he'd be angry? She cries, saying she didn't know what to tell him. She was young, terrified, and completely adrift with no idea what to do. She couldn't terminate the pregnancy, so she gave up the baby and promised never to tell him. She has been dreading this expression on his face for 20 years. She maintains she had no idea the child was Gio until now. Dante asks again why she didn't tell him. Brooklyn describes her decision to give up the child. She was already in pain, and she felt it would be horrible to make him suffer. Dante remarks that they have a lot to talk about, but first they must find their son. Lois wants to accompany them, but Brooklyn says, "Like hell you will." Brooklyn lashes out, claiming that she thought she was in charge all these years, but she was not. She agreed to a closed adoption, but her mother altered the plan. She should have informed her. She did something unforgivable. There is no excuse for this, and she lied to everyone. She lied to her daughter for 22 years, Gio throughout his entire childhood, Dante, Olivia, Dad, and Tracy among others. Lois wishes she could go back in time and do things differently, but Brooklyn says that doesn't matter. Brooklyn runs out, telling her mother to leave her and her boy alone. Dante follows her, and Lois breaks down in tears. Michael reunites with his children. Outside the ballroom, Michael tells Wiley how much he misses him, and Wiley realizes he has grown a foot since last seeing him. Wiley inquires whether they are returning to Uncle Drew's, but Michael responds that they are having an overnight at Grandma Carly's. Wiley cheers. As Michael walks out with his son, Willow and Drew appear and Wiley waves, "Bye, Mommy," to Willow. Jason steps in and advises them that following Michael and Wiley is a bad idea. Willow asks Jason where Michael is bringing Wiley when she receives a call from her babysitter. Drew and Willow flee after she discovers that Jason has arrived and taken Amelia from her house. Sunny, Joss, Nina, and Carly turn up. Joss walks away, and Carly assures Nina she'll see her in court before following him out. Nina grabs Sunny and begs him to hear her out. Nina cannot believe Jason stole Amelia from her house, and she had hoped Michael's return would calm things down. She asks Sunny if he can't convince Michael that a compromise is best. Sunny reminds her that no one wants a war, but until Willow gets away from Drew, this is what will happen. He wants her to show Willow that Drew is not a decent guy. He has damaged her life, ruined her marriage, and now she is about to lose her children. He hopes Drew is worth it and walks away. Reunited, Michael returns to Carly's, where Sasha and Amelia are on the sofa. Michael hugs both of his children, as he has missed them so much. He puts Wiley to bed and expresses how much he loves and misses him. After Amelia is also killed, Michael returns to Sasha and considers why she does not want to raise her child as a Quartermain or Corinthos. Michael thanks her for assisting him tonight. He expresses gratitude for sending the sonograms, and assures her that he would not interfere with the baby's life, unless she changes her mind. Willow and Drew go to the PCPD and inform Mac that Jason Morgan kidnapped Amelia. Tracy learns the truth. Emma arrives at the Quartermain home and finds Gio prepared to flee, saying, "I can't stay here." Emma assures him she's going with him. Tracy storms in before they can leave, yelling about Drew framing her and arresting her. She then inquires as to what they are doing here, why they are not attending the ball, and what is wrong. Gio recalls what happened earlier that evening, and Tracy urges them to speak. Gio informs Tracy that, considering how she loves to remind him that he is not a Quartermain, the joke is on her, because he is related. Tracy is perplexed, so Gio confesses that Brooklyn is his mother and Dante is his father. Surprise! It's a boy. Tracy learns it was him all along. "You are my great-grandson." Gio grabs Emma's hand and attempts to leave, but Tracy urges him not to go any farther. They enter the living room, and Tracy inquires about what occurred and why he believes this. Gio claims he overheard Lois say it and wants to leave before anybody else returns home. Tracy realizes how startling and unpleasant this is, but he can't just claim he's family and walk out the door. He asks, why not? She says it's because he's her family. Tracy gives him a photo of Edward and Lila, tells him who they are, and explains that everything in this house is his, and everyone who lives here is linked to him. He screams as she warns him not to push them away. Gio claims it is not her fault, but he had a family, including a mother he adored and who died. He has now discovered that everything was a lie, and that his family is made up of liars. So he's not ready to join the Q bandwagon since it's a big lie. Brooke, Lynn, and Dante arrive just as Gio is about to depart. Cody and Lulu realize their mistakes too late. Lulu gets home, and Cody waits for her on the porch with beers. They drink together, and she inquires about Dante's health. Cody expresses anger, confusion, and amazement. He told Dante that Brooke Lynn left camp that summer pregnant, and Gio is his son. He claims her name did not come up, but Lulu insists she will not hide her role. Cody is not sure they made the correct decision. Cody asks if Lulu told Gio the truth tonight. She did not. Lulu thinks Gio overheard her and Lois chatting about him. Cody believes addressing Lois at the ball was not a good idea. Cody admits he was so fixated on Dante that he forgot about Gio. He recognizes that his position is not the same as Joe's, as he never felt like he fit in with his family growing up. Gio grew raised with a family who adored him, yet they destroyed his family and memories. Lulu flashes back to Carly, warning her of the consequences of her interference. They talk about how hurt Gio was on stage, and their hearts break for him, Brooke, Lynn, and Dante. Cody points out that they were so blinded by the falsehood that they couldn't see why it was there in the first place. Many people's lives have been torn apart and will never be the same. Lulu feels that things will improve in the long run, but Cody points out that Gio grew up believing Camilla was his mother. Lulu insists that no one can take his love or memories away. Cody just hopes Gio isn't out there alone. Lulu admits that, despite her flaws, Brooke Lynn is a caring person who will make a fine mother. Gio thought he was an orphan, but now he has an entire family that will adopt him, just as the Scorpios did Cody. Cody believes it won't help Gio if he can't trust his family, and he's not sure how someone can recover from such a major deception. Lulu thinks things look dismal now, but everyone will help Gio cope with his new reality. They agree to do anything they can to help, but Cody urges she stay quiet for a bit. Cody decides to walk home since he believes the fresh air would be beneficial. Trina and Kai return to her apartment, and she says she enjoyed having him in the crowd tonight. He compliments her on her great voice. Nevertheless, everything about her is beautiful. They kiss. They sit down, sip champagne, and reflect on their relationship's hard beginning, and how far they've come. She starts unbuttoning his shirt, and he wonders what if Joss comes home. She says Joss is spending the night at her mother's. He asks if she is certain she wants to do this and they can wait. She is confident, so they go to her bedroom to make love. They cuddle, and he inquires as to what she is thinking. She mentions art class and he laughs. She admits she didn't want him as a partner, but she's glad she had him since he's the best thing that has happened to her in a long time. He feels the same way. On the next General Hospital, Dante confronts Brooke Lynn, asking if she would have told him if her hand had not been forced. Gio asks, "What's your excuse?" Olivia lashes out at Lois, who adds, "You can't say that until you're in the same situation." Nina confides in Maxie, saying this will change everything before the custody hearing. Drew urges Willow not to do this while in his car. She says she must try. Carly inquires, "How did you know to come home?" According to General Hospital teasers, Sonny Corinthos may be Lois Cerullo's last backer in Port Charles following the revelation of Gio Palmieri's parentage. Could friendship grow into something more now that Sonny and Lois are older and presumably wiser? Will sparks kindle between Sonny and Lois after so many years? Sonny Corinthos and Lois Cerullo have always been close. Sonny and Lois grew up together in Bensonhurst. Sonny was always welcome in the Cerullo home. Lois and Sonny have always been protective of each other, but they have never had a romantic relationship. Lois was too close to Sonny's ex, Brenda Barrett, to pursue anything romantic with him. Lois, on the other hand, requires immediate assistance. Sonny and Lois are always there for one another, And even though Lois has lied to him about his grandchild for years, she ensured that Sunny knew Gio. According to the General Hospital spoilers preview video for the week of May 26 to 31st, Michael Corinthos will declare that the children no longer belong with Willow Corinthos, resulting in a heated argument. An emotional Brooklyn Quartermain confronts Lois Cerullo for concealing her son's name at the start of GH's weekly commercial. Brooklyn will be furious with her mother for maintaining the secret for so long because Lois knew Giovanni Gio Palmieri was her child. Additionally, Olivia Quartermain will have an opportunity to attack Lois for her dishonesty. Olivia has every reason to be upset because Lois completely concealed Joe's true parentage from Dante Falconeri. Lois will maintain that she was attempting to act in her daughter's best interests, even though Dante was unaware that Brooklyn was even expecting. Olivia, however, will believe that what Lois did was in her best interests. When Olivia lets her rage run wild, there will undoubtedly be some awkward moments. Lulu Spencer is also seen crying in the weekly preview video, indicating that she will still be dealing with the consequences of the Gio revelation. As Dante comes to terms with the fact that he has another son, who is now wholly opposed to him, he won't be pleased with how anyone handled this. According to other General Hospital teasers, Willow will eventually confront Michael and attempt to persuade him to agree with her. Michael will obviously feel differently about the matter, even though Willow will believe that she should be the primary parent of Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. Willow will not approve of Michael's decision to bring the kids back to Carly Spencer's house and will argue that it is wrong. Michael will say not anymore, and make it clear to Willow where he stands when she claims that he knows the children belong with her. Keep an eye out for updates on their intensifying argument, as Michael will not back down in the face of Willow's impassioned plea, as the custody dispute gets ready to get heated. Brooklyn and Lois have the mother of all confrontations when Michael declares war. As we watch this week's programs, General Hospital might have to prescribe some tranquilizers for us. Even though there might be a few issues with the event, including a major one, the coming days should be the most exciting time of day. We are given a clearer idea of how much darker Rory Gibson's Michael will be than Chad Duell's, continuing where Friday left off. Willow sobs that her estranged husband needs to understand that the children belong to her, but he icily replies, not anymore. At least Drew is there to console her. As if he's even somewhat consoling. Brooklyn, meantime, finds it hard to understand what has just happened, and that her mother is to blame. Brooklyn, who is devastated to learn that Lois has known Gio as her daughter's son for his whole life, yells, "It was you all this time." Naturally, Lois will attempt to defend her behavior. By securing Joe's adoption into their own family, she was able to monitor him and ensure his happiness and well-being, which by all accounts he was. It would never have occurred to Lois that the truth would be revealed, much less in such a horrifying way. Last but not least, Olivia is not in the mood for justifications. She yells, "You did what was best for you." It's unclear if she's yelling at Lulu or tearing Lois a new one, but judging by the latter's tearful look, we're going to assume that she's finally receiving the tongue lashing she's been receiving for some time. The week of May 26, 2025, General Hospital spoilers are here. Fans may anticipate Michael Corinthos and Jason Morgan strategizing next week. Giovanni Gio Palmieri is being pursued by Dante Falconeri and Brooklyn Quartermain. Kai Taylor also develops feelings for Trina Robinson. Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming ABC soap opera episode as you continue reading. Note on programming. Here is a brief programming note prior to the spoilers. GH won't have a new episode on Monday, May 26th. Fans will see an encore episode because of Memorial Day. Strategic planning by Michael Corinthos. Although fans were aware that Michael would return, the events that transpired were shocking. After making a call to Jason, Michael entered the nurse's ball. Michael seized his son and shouted, "Let's go home." When Wiley Corinthos saw his father, Michael will be welcomed home by his family at the start of the week. Carly may confide in her son about everything she does to discipline Willow Tate Corinthos. Nonetheless, Michael may inform his mother that he's acquired it from here. Jason and Michael will also talk about the future. Gio Palmieri's fury. According to General Hospital spoilers, after discovering the truth, Gio destroyed his violin on stage. Gio confused Dante by running out. Gio and Dante will now need to hear Brooklyn's explanations. Naturally, as far as BLQ is aware, as everything was obviously managed by Lois Cerullo. Gio has Emma Scorpio Drake by his side. Dante and BLQ later make an effort to get in touch with their son. Lulu Spencer is confronted by Dante later in the week. It's unclear how Gio learned of Lulu's involvement in the secret, and how Dante will respond. Dante might be sympathetic or he might hold Lulu responsible. May 26, 2025 week. Additionally, fans will witness Nina Reeves seek assistance from Sonny. Cody Bell acknowledges that his choice was incorrect. Harrison Chase must later make his own admission. The investigator may feel duped by everyone he ever trusted when Chase tells Dante that he was aware of the pregnancy. Sasha Gilmore Corbin receives a request from Michael in the interim. Carly and Elizabeth Liz Baldwin get back in touch. Curtis Ashford is not really sure. Additionally, Christina Corinthos Davis and Lucky Spencer meet with Alexis Davis. Tension permeated the room as Michael stood in front of Willow. His face weighted with purpose but unreadable. The way he had been aloof lately, the way his words had become fewer and his silences longer, she had sensed that this moment was approaching. However, nothing could have prepared her for the gravity of his impending statement. At last, Michael said in a firm but cold voice, "They don't belong with you anymore." Willow's breath caught in her throat as the words felt like a physical blow. The children, those lively, intelligent individuals she had poured her heart into, were never really hers, and she had always understood that. Unexpectedly, they had entered her life as a short-term arrangement that had grown into something more profound and ingrained itself into her very existence. However, she hadn't allowed herself to truly realize it until she heard Michael say it out loud. Even though she already knew the answer, she asked, "What do you mean?" Her voice faltered a little, revealing the composure she was frantically attempting to preserve. Michael let out a harsh sigh, as though the talk was wearing him out already. "Willow, you understand what I mean. This was never meant to be long-term. They have family members who can provide them with security and a bright future. All you were expected to do was take care of them until everything was resolved. Merely to take care of them." The words hurt. Since she had done more than merely take care of them, she had cherished them. She had brushed away their tears when they were afraid, stayed up late when they were ill, and celebrated even the smallest of their achievements as though they were her own. The thought of letting them go now was intolerable since they had become a part of her. She argued feebly that they're happy here, even though she knew that happiness might not be sufficient. Michael gave a headshake. "Willow, it's not about happiness. It all comes down to what will benefit them the most in the long run. In actuality, you lack the necessary resources to provide for their needs." No matter how tactfully he put it, the accusation landed hard because that's exactly what it was. Not outfitted. Like love wasn't sufficient enough. As though her lack of the proper resources, connections, or last name made the sacrifices, sleepless nights, and the way she had changed her entire life for them all for nothing. With flaming eyes, she said, "They love me." Michael's face softened for the first time, but it wasn't consoling. It was sympathy. "Willow, kids fall in love quickly. They will adapt. They will forget. Ignore." The word reverberated in her head, harsh and decisive. Would they? Would they truly forget the stories she told them before bed? The giggles, and the way she held them when everything seemed too big? Or would she simply fade into the background, a shadowy presence from their past that they hardly remembered? Her desire was to fight, to quarrel, to make him realize how much she needed them, how much they needed her. However, she could see by the expression in Michael's eyes that the choice had already been made. There was no last-minute mercy, no space for compromise. This was taking place. "When?" she inquired in a hollow voice. "Shortly," he answered. "Arrangements have already been made." They were, of course. As this was not a conversation, a verdict was rendered. Willow couldn't stand to see him any longer, so she turned away. In her heart, she had known that this day would arrive. However, this knowledge did not lessen the pain. The next few days were a haze of silent suffering. Every moment felt like borrowed time. Even though she made an effort to act normal around the kids by feigning laughing and smiles. Every "I love you" embrace and secret was tainted with the awareness that it will all be gone shortly. And then they were suddenly. The farewell was more unpleasant than she had anticipated. She and they both shed tears and made vows to never forget, to visit and to call. However, she realized the reality as she saw them leave, hand in hand with the individuals who were now their real family. Life would go on. They would develop, evolve, and create new memories. And nothing would be able to replace the void that would remain. One thing Michael had been correct about was that the children no longer belonged with her. However, that didn't lessen the pain. Michael Carrington was sitting opposite Jason Mercer in the darkened backroom of the wharf, where they frequently meet for private conversations, just as the sun had just begun to rise over Port Haven. Michael leaned forward, his expression intense, the air heavy with the smell of ocean and strong coffee. He slipped a packet over the table and murmured softly, "We need to move fast." After opening it and looking over the papers, Jason whistled slowly. His words, "This changes everything," were a whisper. Although the two had long been business adversaries, recent events had compelled them to form an uncomfortable partnership. They may weaken the Moretti family's influence over the city's shipping sector if their scheme succeeded. They would both be destroyed, or worse if it didn't work. Jason gave the table a contemplative tap. "We'll need leverage," he told them. "Something Moretti can't ignore." A knowing smile curved Michael's lips. He disclosed, "I've already got someone on the inside." Jason's eyebrow went up. "Who?" Michael answered without a second's hesitation. "Trina." Trina Moretti had been underappreciated for years. Most people thought she was a spoilt heiress who was happy to live off of her family's fortune because she was Vincent Moretti's only daughter. However, the fire that burned behind her polished appearance was understood by those who knew her well. Her passion was art, not wealth or influence. She painted frantically while hidden away in her private studio. Her most recent work is a whirlwind of angry reds and dark blues. It was unvarnished, heartfelt, and unlike anything she had ever produced. Her phone buzzed. It was another message from her father's colleagues, who probably wanted her to attend a business event. Ignoring it, she dipped her brush into a new crimson streak. She had been the obedient daughter for years, but in recent years, the pressure of expectations had become oppressive. The idea of being permanently linked to the family business made her stomach turn, since she understood it was founded on more than just legal transactions. Gio came next. Even at the age of 20, her younger brother was already being prepared to assume control of the empire. However, Trina had witnessed his eyes light up as he discussed marine biology, a topic he studied behind his back. She was aware that he also didn't desire this existence. Did either of them have a choice, the question was? Gazing out at the water, Gio Moretti stood at the pier's edge. His haven, where he could forget about last names and ancestry, had always been the ocean. In his pocket, his phone buzzed, another missed call from his dad. He let out a sigh. The pressure was increasing. His father had made it plain that he was supposed to join the family firm after graduating. Vincent referred to them as childish dreams, and they were gone. However, Gio kept seeing himself in a lab, researching marine ecosystems rather than balance sheets. He hadn't informed anyone, but he had even applied to a research program abroad. It would be his only chance to escape if he got in. However, leaving would mean abandoning Trina and his family. He watched the ripples spread as he kicked a loose rock into the sea. Was wanting something different selfish? Was that the sole means of surviving? Michael and Jason rehearsed their plan again at the wharf. According to Michael, Trina is our best shot. If she can get us the information we need, we can bring Moretti down without a messy war. Jason's jaw was clenched as he nodded. And what happens to her after? Michael looked him in the eye. That's up to her. And really, none of them had any idea how this would turn out. They had no choice but to fulfill their roles and pray that they would still be alive when everything was said and done. Trina put down her brush and took a step back to look at her creation. The painting was frantic, bordering on furious. It reflected the fury within her. She considered Michael's offer, the opportunity to assist in overthrowing her father's business. It was risky. There would be dire repercussions if she were discovered. But she would be imprisoned in a gilded cage for the rest of her life if she did nothing. Reaching for her phone, she wrote just one word. In. The following morning, Gio received his letter of acceptance. His heart thumping, he gazed at it. His ticket out, that was it. But he questioned whether he would ever be fully free as he surveyed the opulent apartment that had served as his home for so long.